Hey everyone, how are we going? It's cold. November the 2nd. We are officially getting to the cold part of the year. Not the ideal part of the year for building. I put up with the winter to enjoy the spring, summer and autumn. Anyway, all of the walls on the outside are finished. All the air bricks are finished. All the blockwork inside is finished. I have had some emails back from block and beam people. We're going to go through a few measurements in a minute and double check and make sure that the beams that I'm ordering are right. I don't want them to turn up and them not fit. So I need to double check all the measurements, make sure none of them are too short. I don't mind them if they're a bit too long because you can cut them down afterwards, that's not a problem. I have left this section of, let me just put you in focus, this section where the front door is going to be, I've left that lower down because I'm going to be taking the beams in through this way. Hopefully going to start on that section, then come through for this section and then do this section that I'm stood in now. I've left that down because I don't want to knock it over. There are two things that I have missed which I need to rectify today. One is, for some reason I forgot to lay some bricks in here. Let me just get out of here and I'll show you on the drawings that I've got here, if you bear with me just 1 second, and I'll explain the other problem that we're going to have to resolve today. This is a downstairs bathroom. This is going to be the kitchen, so you're going to have water going in and out of it. There's going to have to be drainage coming out of the building somewhere. Now what I've forgotten to do is here, this dotted line, and here, this dotted line, that is where the drainage goes. Now, to go from the inside to the outside, there's going to have to be a hole and a pipe going through. Now what I've done is I've built all the walls and I've forgotten to put those pipes in. So I'm going to have to go through and knock a little bit of this wall out, a little bit of this wall out, and poke it through, hopefully without disturbing too much of the brickwork that I've already put in. Anyway, these are the measurements that I sent to the block and beam floor people, and this is what they've sent back to me. This is the plan. It's very small. This is telling you, this number here is telling you how long the beam is, and this one is telling you 155, that's the height. And here it is telling you 375. I'm assuming that that is the infill of the block. So these pink dotted lines are where the beams go, and in the middle is where the block goes. So, but that's the drainage pipe that goes out, and there's a drainage pipe that goes out here, and I haven't put those in yet. So that's one of the orders of today. But first off, I want to double check all these measurements to make sure they're okay. So I'm going to go over there, do that now. Just quick run around with a tape measure, make sure they're all okay, and then yeah, send an email and go, yep, that's all good, give me my beams. Right, that looks good to me. Now I've got to tackle those bloody outpipes. Right, so this is the size of the pipe we're doing. This is 100mm underground pipe, and this is the actual pipe. Obviously it doesn't come like this, but this just pops in there. You can see you've got the rubber seals in there to stop anything coming out so it's leaking, but that is the size of what we're going to be using. I need to make a hole through here to the outside without disturbing all of this to fit this through. Now this is going to be awkward. I also need to do it over here in that corner there. That's the front door, that'll be the toilet, so one's going in there. Stupid boy completely forgot to do it. The inside I'm not too worried about, I can just cut that block out and build it in later, that's not a problem. It's the other side I'm worried about because I've built this on it. I don't really want to take that down. Stupid things that people do. I was too eager to build the walls and I forgot to put the bloody pipes in. Right. Well, let's overcome this. Don't know how many people from different parts of the world watch this, but in England, every person on a site knows the bane of these things. So, regular UK plug socket looks like that. that is 240 volts. Now on a lot of building sites they don't allow anything more than 110, which is what this is, 110 volts. Safer, don't get a bigger shock. Transformer, not Optimus Prime, that kind of transformer, unfortunately, but that would be pretty damn cool. Plug that in and obviously away you go. Okay, so now that that is out, I can see in here that there's a joint right down here, not the sort of joint that kids are into, a perp joint. So I am going to try and cut that bit of block out without disturbing that. Now, how do I do that? I'm not using that because that'll just knock the whole thing down. I'm going to use hammer drill. Number one, and this was the first one I did, so they came out a lot easier than I thought they were going to be. Yeah, much easier. Bit of luck there, wasn't it? Right, so now I'm going to go and get some underground pipe, like that orange pipe that I showed you, because we're going to want to run some pipe from around here through that hole all the way down the side there, and eventually we're going to have a manhole just right next to my truck, and then I'm just going to want a little bit of pipe here. I'll put that, this is going to go basically there, and then that's just going to go straight for that wall. I'll leave it here for the time being because it's going to have a turn, and that's going to have to go over that way to the manhole, which will be around there somewhere. I'm not going to go too mad here because I've still got to dig all that out, so I don't mind if that gets covered. So I'm going to go for a little drive in a minute and go and get some pipe. Right, so what we're going to do, I'll connect this on to the pipe here, and that'll be this side of the wall. We'll have a bit of straight coming through to here, and then we'll put that twisty one that I bought on here, so it'll go at a straight angle over to where it's going to come up through the floor. Now, I'm only going to go up to where the twist is. I'm not going to put the straight bit until it comes up through the floor, because I'm going to wait until I put the floor in for that, so I can see exactly where that partition wall is and have it coming up nice and close to the internal wall. Let's go and get a bit of pipe, we'll measure it and cut it. Right, so we got the twister, so you can get anywhere up to 30 degrees, I'm not sure. So, first of all, we measure how far we want that to go. Call it 500. It's, I've been told a number of times throughout my career that it's good to have, I don't know if it's a requirement, to have a connection either side of the wall for movement's sake. So if you have it straight, say it was going straight the way through, if for some reason the house moved, it could bend it and snap it. But if it moves, you've got that connection which allows for a bit of movement. So connection this side, connection that side, which kind of makes sense, I suppose. So pencil, we measure our pipe 500, make a couple of marks on it so you get it nice and round, nice and straight cut. 3 should be enough. Hasn't got to be perfectly straight, but no, it's straight enough to me. Always use safety glasses when you cut anything. I'm going to be using a small little grinder. Always make sure your cables are well out of the way. I don't know if you can see at the end, but it's slightly chamfered at one end, so you can easily push it in. I say easily, that's what this is for. Stuff on there makes it going easy, but once you cut it, you don't get that chamfer. So again, use the grinder very carefully and chamfer it down. Whenever you use any sort of power tool, no matter what it is, whether it's a drill, a little grinder, a big grinder, a heavy drill, a breaker, anything, always use extreme caution, because for some reason that might just tweak, kick back, and you could cut a main artery, it could kill you. There's a lot of tools on the building site that they're just so dangerous. Chop saws, angle grinders, anything. Most of them could kill you if not used correctly. So always use PPE, personal protective equipment, and use exercise extreme caution, just so that if something doesn't feel right, stop, turn the machine off, look at it, why does that not feel right, reassess, do it again. Always be safe. Safety is your number one priority. If you lose your arm, you ain't going to build a house with one arm on. I'm not Jamie Lannister. Well, he can't fight with one arm anyway, can he? So, that's enough of that. Take these, get a little bit of splosh, just a little bit on there. You can buy proper lube for this, but what's the point when you've got dishwashing and stuff? It's a lot freaking cheaper, that's for sure. Right, all you do is that, and it should go straight on. Go just like that. And that comes in here, and then that's chamfered, ready to go. So all I do is I'll put a splodge on there, a bit on the inside of that one. And there you go. You've got your twisty on, you can have it whatever angle you want, just a slight angle like that, but I'll mess about with that once I put the floor on. So that's that bit done. Now jump in here and I'll stick these on again, same way, but I don't have to use the grinder to chamfer it over because they're just 2 straight long pipes. So I just put a bit of that on, stick them together, jobs are good. So I just made a silly mistake again. It's not a big problem, it's just a little bit of a waste of time. So that pipe that I just put in all the way along here, I don't need to do that just yet because there's a manhole going about there, about 500 mil in from that wall, and that's going to run all the way along there down to there. So realistically I didn't need to put that in there at all. Oh well, I've shown you how to do it. If you want to put some pipe in, make sure you're doing it properly. I was too preoccupied with showing you how to do it than I was about where it goes. I've got to dig all this out before I can do that, so oh well. For those of you who don't know how to do it, for those of you who do know how to do it, who are probably screwing, ripping your dick off going, You didn't need to do that. If you'd paid more attention to the drawings, you would have just wasted a couple of hours of your time. But anyway, on a happy note, we all know how to do it. Right, so I'll leave you guys there. If you enjoyed this, hit the like and subscribe if you aren't already. And then you're in it, you're in there, you're constantly updated with how the build's going. Right, okay, hope you guys have a good one and see you next time. Peace.